What's poppin', T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I am back with a brand new all tea, all shade Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, episode 18 review. There will not be a Married to Medicine review tonight because, to be honest with you, it has been very lackluster and boring. When things pick up, I'll go back to doing reviews on it. I will be doing reviews on Love and Hip Hop marriage retreat, couples retreat, whatever the hell it's called, but that review won't be up until Friday. That and Walker and Tammy with the Flocker, I'll drop that as well as Ready to Love on Friday. I'm working on my next novel, so I need all of those days free to write. Tomorrow will be also a new episode of Tea Party featuring me and Sheridan. The topic is the Prophet Lot situation that we just witnessed on Real Housewives of Atlanta, plus true friendship versus fake friendship. It is a phenomenal episode. You do not want to miss it. It'll be premiering tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Time. And this Thursday, make sure to check out my formal gown, prom gowns, bridal look for less video. It'll be dropping Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time. I got all of the dresses from Shein. I can't wait for you guys to see them. Everything was under $50 as far as the dresses are concerned. It is funny as hell. You do not want to miss it. I dropped a sneak peek on the community page of one of the dresses, so stay tuned for that. Also, next week for the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, I will be doing my reunion look. So get ready for my dungeon-themed outfit, baby, next Sunday. Also, let's get me to 50K. If you have not subscribed to the Color Me Pink channel, please do so. I'm trying to get to 50K, you guys. Once I get to 50K, somebody's going to get a brand new designer bag. And I'm going to have other wonderful gifts for other T-Squad members. Okay, now let's get into some of this behind the scenes tea before we get into tonight's episode. And this is going to be a long video, so sit back and relax. So the first bit of behind the scenes tea news that I have for you guys is that there is reportedly set to be a huge cash shakeup for season 14. This is what we have been asking for. It needs to happen. I feel like they can either wipe the slate clean and get rid of everybody and start anew. If they do keep some of the OGs, I feel like it's only right but to keep Kenya and Portia. I feel like they still have storylines left. Cynthia and Candy, love them, but they can go ahead and go. Marlo can stay around and just be a friend of the show. But it needs to go in a different direction at this point. Portia also went live this week to dispel rumors that her and Candy had a blow up that did not air on the show about Black Lives Matter. Here's what she had to say.
They said, you know what? You don't got to talk to that. That's a very small part of an article. They talk about you great in the article. They say you're the fan favorite in the article. If that was the case, if I cared about that, I wouldn't be speaking now. Because the article speaks lovely of me. It speaks highly of Portia as a talent on the show. But the reason I'm putting myself out there right now is because this is connected to Black Lives Matter and the black woman on this show. I want me and Candy, and if Kenya could get her mind right in the future to be able to do something. Mainly Candy. I respect her. I hate that this has been put out there. I hate that she didn't clear this up the way I'm clearing it up, because that would have also been helpful to this situation. If when Kenya was saying these things, you will also show, and I don't have to, that it was not anybody dogging you out. It wasn't negative. It was nothing like that. So again, my position is that I just want to be effective. I'm blessed to have this platform. I'm blessed that you people are on here right now listening to me. I am blessed to be able to put a voice for people who don't have a voice. I have access. I am able to have influence. If I were to use that just to talk about me, I wouldn't be talking about this. That it was not anybody dogging you.
Okay, so Candy did respond to that, and this is what she had to say.
Atlanta reunion is coming up, and just last night, Portia Williams responded to an article on Vulture. It's a little complicated, but it's been making the rounds on social media. How is your relationship with Portia? How's it going?
I don't really know, honestly. As far as I knew, we were, cool as, when we left the reunion, and then this article came out, and then now I guess she's on social media. So I have no idea, to be honest, like, what the point was that she was trying to make. I'm confused, to be honest.
So it caught you by surprise. Okay.
Well, I guess not. At the end of the day, the article talked about a scene that was deleted. Well, that was not used in the show.
Okay.
Whatever. And, obviously there were things in that scene that, were not.
We know the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion is coming up.
A positive look, in her eyes. And so with that being said, she wasn't happy about it then, and of course she's not happy about it being discussed now. So I don't really know what to say about that. A positive look.
If you don't know what they're referring to, it was a scene at Todd's birthday party that we did not get to see, where Kandi confronted Portia about something that she said about her doing something for Black Lives Matter, or about them getting paid for something. It was some bullshit or whatever. And it was said by Kenya on Speak On It that Portia made disparaging remarks about Kandi doing stuff for Black Lives Matter, and like basically her trying to take her shine and her storyline. So they were questioning whether or not it was genuine what she was doing. And Kandi even said on her own, I believe on Speak On It, that Portia said some things that would not have made her look good on television. So I don't know, child. The whole thing is a goddamn mess. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Next story is LaToya and this nigga that she fucking around with posted this picture of them allegedly getting basties tattoos, hashtag basties. This is supposed to say besties, but they made it basties. Like, girl, what? Hold up, let me make sure y'all see this foolishness. Anybody that's gotten a tattoo knows that shit is not fucking real. That is some fucking marker. That shit is not no goddamn tattoo. But whatever. I know people saying like he escort or some shit. Girl, she like it. I love it. Whatever. And then last but not the least, Lanithia Nene Leakes might be going over to Zeus. Lemuel Plummer, the CEO of Zeus, posted this video of him and Nene, and this is what he had to say. I would be here for it. I don't really know what the show would be about, but it'll be a good look, and she'll be able to at least have some creative control over what she's doing. You see what Jocelyn has been able to do over there, and Ray J and Princess Love and all these other people. So I think it would be a good avenue for Nene. The viewers would, follow her. So hopefully, she can do something that will redeem herself. Okay, now let's get on to tonight's episode of The Real Housewives. So Kandi gets her own day in Georgia. That is wonderful. Cynthia and Mike talk about buying a house together in Atlanta because he's going to move there permanently. And she's thinking about putting Lake Bailey up as an Airbnb, which I think would be a phenomenal idea. Portia continues to rally for votes and for voters to come out to the elections for their state, like Senate and mayor polls and all that stuff. Drew and Ralph prepared to take Josiah to see his old daddy. I hate that's what they call that man. It ain't no old daddy, new daddy, fake daddy, real daddy. Like, that's your damn daddy. He might not be there for you, but at the end of the day, biologically, he is your goddamn daddy. Or just call the nigga by his name. But that old daddy shit is so fucking retarded. But this is coming from Drew. Drew, meanwhile, I guess she was like, oh, I gotta kill him. I'm going to see my ex nigga, my ex baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let him know that, we are doing good over here. Ain't nobody missing you. I'm still that bitch. I look better than ever. And she decided to put on her Chewbacca jacket. Because she thought that motherfucker was sharp. And she looked like a fucking wildebeest. She looked like the shit you see in the goddamn woods, girl. I don't know where in the hell she was going, girl. The fashions is just not on point for this thing. So they get to the restaurant and old daddy is late and won't answer the phone when she calls. This nigga Ralph got on a whole suit like he going on a goddamn job interview. I'm like, where are you going? You looking like you about to go speak at somebody's brunch, and then she look like she going to go hike in the woods, like, I don't know, to go see her relatives. Like, what the fuck? So old daddy finally arrives and he looked just as country as these niggas. I'm like, oh, now I see why you and Drew came together and had a baby, because this nigga up here in one of Guy Fieri old shirts that he wore on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I'm like, where is this country ass nigga going? Drew got a type, because Drew, baby daddy, and Ralph look like they could be brothers or either cousins. The baby daddy ain't my type, ain't my cup of tea. He ain't really that cute to me. He look kind of slow, but this is Drew we talked about. Ralph asks Josiah, he says, ask him what he's doing in town. And Josiah was like, but I'm not interested in that. It seems like, if I remember correctly, does he have autism? Because, autistic kids, they don't give a fuck what they say. They have no filter. So the old daddy tries to talk to him, and he was like, trying to, connect with him. But the little boy was like, can I please get another cookie? So the daddy was like, do you care? And Josiah was like, not really. And he just laughed it off. But you could tell he was like, God damn, like, this shit worse than I thought it was going to be. Like, you can tell he doesn't really know how to deal with whatever issues that, his son has. So Ralph takes Josiah off to the side. And Drew asks her baby daddy how will they proceed, because this calling schedule that they came up with has not really been effective because he hasn't been living up to his side of the bargain. And he was like, I just really want to be in my son's life. He's my only child, this, that, and the third. So Josiah and Ralph come back to the table, and before they come back to the table, Ralph asks the little boy, would you be interested in seeing him again? He was like, yeah, sure, like, whatever, really don't care. So they tell him to give his old daddy a hug before he leaves, and this little boy tried to hug that man across the table. I hollered like Josiah was the MVP of tonight's episode. He gives me life. So Kenya talks to her therapist at her home, and she says that Mark just stays there and doesn't ask when he comes into town. He just automatically feels like he can just lay up there with her, sleep in the same bed with her, and don't have to ask her. But meanwhile, when she goes to New York, she stays in a fucking hotel. Like, what kind of crazy ass relationship these niggas got? Like, this shit is retarded. So she says she don't mind as long as he doesn't fight with her about him staying there. I wouldn't give a fuck if he fight with me or not. Bitch, if I can't stay with you, you can't stay with me. Like, ugh. So she says that he told her he wants to make it work, but her feelings have changed. And she said he said if I stop the fight in court, that he'll do this, that, and the third or whatever. And that's what I said to y'all last week. I was like, is it a court issue? Like, does he not want this to go to court because of maybe his financial issues or something might come up? It's something going on with this nigga. Like, either he just crazy as cat shit or something else is going on. So the therapist was like, I can only hear your side of the story. It'd be wonderful I can hear both so I can help you all. So Kenya tries to text him, but realizes that she's been blocked because it's not being delivered. And when she calls his phone, it goes straight to voicemail. Now, mind you, he was just there for the baby's birthday and they was doing good and this, that, and the third. And now he got her blocked. And the therapist was like, any idea why he might have blocked you? And she was like, he said he wanted to come this weekend and cook and, for just the three of us and all this other sexual stuff that he wanted to do. And I'm like, I'm not there. And that's when he gets angry. And that was this morning. So this nigga sits up here and throws temper tantrums, and she falls for the shit. Like, Kenya is so fucking weak when it comes to these niggas. And this shit is just such a disheartening thing to see. see. Like, Jesus the Christ. Like, girl, get some balls about yourself when it comes to this man. Like, you just let this nigga do any and everything to you. Like, it ain't that motherfucking deep to say you got a husband, girl. It is not that damn deep. And once again, this is why I say her and Portia got way more in common than they do not have in common. Like, they both stupid when it comes to niggas, and they both so thirsty to say I got a man that they'll put up with any and everything from these niggas. So, she then goes and gets Brooklyn's phone to call him, and he doesn't answer, but it goes through. So she texts and asks why she's blocked, and he responds and says, can't talk right now, close friend was in an accident, very serious. And Kenya was like, hospitals in New York aren't allowing guests, you are a liar. And he was like, Kenya, I'll call you back, I can't talk right now. So it's obvious that he just playing games with her. He don't want to be fucking bothered. Like, and then the fact that you don't even answer the phone, even though I hate when people do that shit, because it could genuinely be something wrong and I'm calling you, and you not answering the phone. Like, God forbid if something was going on with her or Brooklyn and you just sitting up here playing games, like, people gonna learn to stop doing that silly ass shit. If you don't want to fuck with me, just say that. Like, ain't nobody got time to be doing this back and forth bullshit. But the fact that Kenya continues to play along with him, you're just as stupid as he is. Like, I can't even feel sorry for you anymore because you keep on allowing this behavior. You even said out your own mouth that you and him have been separated now for over a year. So what the fuck are you holding on to? He don't live there. You don't live there. He ain't a good daddy. He treats you like shit. What are you fucking holding on to? The fact that you want to wear this ring? Girl, buy yourself another one and call it a fucking day. So Kenya says she's going to leave him alone and boss up and treat him like she treat these hoes on the show. He going to see a different side of her. And I'm just looking at the television screen like blah, 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 blah. Been there, done that, heard it all before on some Sunday Anderson type shit, because right after that, he was there with her in Brooklyn and her family for Thanksgiving. Girl, bye. So Cynthia is throwing a Friendsmas gathering at Lake Bailey where everyone has to bring $1,000 gift. And I was like, this is my type of party. I wish I was still a part of the cast, but I'd have moved on over to Potomac, y'all. So that Potomac sneak peek was life. Did y'all see Wendy's face? Homegirl has got the full special, and me and Sheridan actually talked about Wendy on tomorrow's episode of Tea Party, and I was telling her how she done fucked up her face. Oh my God, she done got her nose done, she done got fillers, she done got her titties done. She looked like a whole new bitch, and I don't know if that's better or worse. So Drew on the day of the party so-called got cramps and say she gonna be late to the party, and Portia was coming to get her, so she was like, I'm already running late myself. So she was like, oh, okay, yeah. So Toya texts Cynthia saying that she's not coming because she don't want to be bothered with Drew and the drama. So Marlo texts then and saying she not coming, but she's sending her gift via her nephew. So Cynthia, we find out, hired llamas and shit to surprise the girls. Candy, Shamia, and Kenya arrived. Candy is happy that there's food, and I was happy too, even though I wasn't there, but the food looked delicious. Cynthia tells him that Toya isn't coming, and Kenya was like, oh, really? Like, damn. Like, so I'm wondering, like, I'm guessing Kenya started to feel some type of way about Toya after she saw the show and saw how she was playing both sides or whatever, because, she said at the reunion she was coming for Toya. So Cynthia is mad that Portia and Drew are late as fuck, and she thinks that it's so disrespectful because at this point they was like almost an hour late, and it really doesn't make any sense, like, why y'all this fucking late. So Marlo's gifts arrive. Kenya, they then talk about the gift giving game or whatever, where you get to pull a number and whoever goes first gets to pick a gift, and then the next person either can take that gift or open another gift, and that's how the game goes or whatever. So Kenya was like, well, since we're here, we need to take advantage and pick the numbers, and the late guests get the crappy numbers, which is 1 and 2. So Portia and Drew arrived 3.5 hours late. I would have told them hoes to turn the fuck around, because that's just fucking ridiculous. Like, you don't do no shit like that. If I got one pet peeve, and that is when people are late. It is such a disrespect to someone, and that is a blatant, I don't give a fuck about you, your time, what you got going on, your feelings or anything. Like, that shit is a pet peeve to me, especially when you've been knowing about some shit like for over a week. I can see if the shit was like the day before, the day of, and you got to scramble, but like a week or so in advance, like, they knew about this. And why are you 3 hours late, girl? then they roll back how Portia has been late to everybody's event all season. Like, that's just ridiculous as fuck. So Portia and Drew think that their numbers 1 and 2 are good, but they quickly realize that they got the shitty end of the stick. So Portia picks first, and she ends up picking Cynthia's gift, which is some ugly ass Tiffany jewelry. And I'm like, out of all the shit you could have got from Tiffany's, this is what the fuck you get, Cynthia. This old crafty ass looking jewelry that you could have got at any kind of flea market stand. Like, girl, what? Ew, it was so ugly. So then Drew picks next, and she gets some Baccarat perfume, which smells delicious, and she gagged over it, child, because you know her broke ass ain't never had nothing. And she gets a Gucci bag from Portia. Mal then takes Drew's gift, and her broke ass act like she was about to slit her wrist, child, because she didn't get no Gucci bag that was actually real. So Drew ends up picking Mal's gift, which was wine from the Bailey Wine winery. So she act like, wah, wah, wah. I'm like, bitch, you need to be happy you got anything, especially after we found out what the fuck your shifty ass did. So Shamia picks Candy's gift, which is a new iPhone, and she's excited and in love. Cynthia then picks Marlo's gift, which is $1,000 in cash, and I was like, that's my type of girl. That's the type of shit I would have did. Candy then picks Kenya's, which are diamond earrings that she says are worth $5,000, and Portia, Shamia, and Drew hating ass then Google it to see if it's actually true. I was like, these hating ass bitches. So Kenya then picks Shamia's gift, which is a Chanel brooch and a Chanel scarf. Now, the brooch was, just a typical CC brooch, which is iconic. It never goes out of style. But that Chanel scarf was hideous. It looked like the fabric was itchy. It looked like something that your grandmama would have picked out. It was horrible. So, Chandler, the guy that was there at the party, ends up being the picker for Marlo since she wasn't there, and he ends up taking the Chanel stuff from Kenya. So then Kenya is then stuck with Drew's gifts, and she is not excited about this because we've all seen Drew this whole season. Drew can't even dress herself, do her hair, or anything. So how the hell are we gonna trust you to pick out something nice for anybody? So Kenya opens, it's 3 gifts. She opens the first one, and it's like this furry cat house, and she looking like, what the fuck is this stupid ass shit? And then the inside of the house, it's that ugly ass wig that she wore at the first gathering where she met everybody. And Ken looking like, girl, and she even said to her, girl, you can have that back. So then she opens the next gift, and it's a cassette tape. Girl, then Drew was like, this is a wig Kenya and Toya was obsessed with. Portia was like, well, how she know Kenya was going to pull her gift? Even Portia was like, girl, what is you doing? Because anybody could have got that gift and would have been pissed off that you didn't get nobody $1,000 gift. She kept on talking about the wig is worth $1,000. And everybody in their room was like, bitch, you got that shit from AliExpress, darling. That damn wig ain't bit more $1,000, let alone $30. Girl, get the fuck out of here with that dry ass stack of hay. So Drew walks over to Kenya, and Key was like, please don't walk up on me. So Drew then says she mad, and Portia was like, but you still gonna give her $1,000, right? And she was like, no, the bundle was worth $1,000. I was like, oh God. The first L that she took on tonight's episode was the fact that your broke ass that want to talk all that shit in confessionals couldn't even scramble up $1,000 gift for everybody, for one of the people. You came looking like the broke bitch. You already been clowned all season for your fashions and your hair being late as hell, never on time, bitch. And then you want to be the one that did not get a expensive gift. You could have at least bought something. It didn't even have to be expensive. It didn't even have to be $1,000, but at least did something like some gag gifts, like, because you didn't even know if Kenya was gonna be the one that pulled it. Like, you just made yourself look like a fucking idiot and like the scrub broke bitch out the group. Like, girl, I forgot she starred in a TLC movie, so it's befitting her. So Shamia then says, that's crazy that Kenya got it. And Drew was like, something about, that's how God works or some shit like that. And Candy was like, you gonna bring God into this? Like, Candy was about tired of Drew ass at this point. So Drew was like, the truth doesn't matter to y'all? Because at this point, they realized in the third gift, it was a boom box. Like, this bitch, girl, who even got a boom box anywhere? So she was like, y'all don't want to know the truth. And Portia was like, not me. I hollered. So Candy was like, you can tell the truth if you want to, but I would have been pissed if I got that. And I mean, you would think she would be embarrassed, but she wasn't even embarrassed. So Drew was like, everybody's been talking about the Prophet Lot situation. Danny dropped this in my lap. He was very upset that Prophet Lot lied, and this is the conversation they had. I just want y'all to listen because I don't lie. So they played a clip. And we heard Danny, her assistant, say to the Prophet Lot, what's the relationship between you and Toya? And the man says, do I like her? I really do like her, but I know the situation because I've been there. I met my 3-year-old mom while I was still technically married. And Drew Thomas, see, he admits to liking Toya and that he was married and he started to date his baby's mama. And it's crickets. Everybody's like, but he didn't admit to anything except for the fact that he likes her, but he knows the situation because he's been there before, so he would never cross that line. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You ain't proved shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just trying to make fetch a thing, Gretchen. Stop it. It will not happen. Like, everybody looked at her like she was stupid. Even her so-called friends on the show, Portia and Shamia, was looking like, girl, let it the fuck go. So, Candy says he's saying that he likes Toya and understands the fact that she's married and she's moving on because he's been married before and he's moved on. Candy, her confession was like, trying to record people and trying to set people up is really a vile thing to do. And I was like, exactly, girl. Like, you look crazy as hell. L number 2 that she took for the night. Like, you look crazy. Your gift was whack as fuck. It shows you have no funds. And now you sitting up here trying to make this shit between Toya and Prophet Lot a thing. And it really isn't. And you look crazy because it has nothing to do with you. So Drew was like, if you don't want the truth, it's fine. And Candy was like, it's not about the truth. So then the doorbell rings and it's Toya. And Drew was like, oh, she came right on time to get her gift. I love Toya's dress. It was just so pretty. Those colors, the blues and the pinks in it. It was just so freaking cute. I need to know where she got that from. It was everything. So Candy was like, no, I'm sorry. So Toya then goes like to play the game. And King was like, nah, hold up. Because she just tried to present some stupid recording of a prophet talking about you. She came and brought some ugly ass wig. And Toya was like, she's whack to me. And Drew was like, the truth will go forth. She has a lot of drama and issues that she has brought into my life. What, girl? What? You're just trying to create drama and have a storyline to, I guess, secure your spot for next season. And you look stupid in the end. Like, she was not going to let this shit go. Because you know how you get so far into some shit that you know you sound stupid, but you just can't admit that you sound crazy because you just so far in it that you just got to plant your feet there. That's exactly where Drew was at this point. She knew she sounded like a fucking idiot, but she just was not willing to back down at this point. So, Toya was like, Drew, shut up. Cynthia in her confession was like, I don't understand why Drew is so hard up for this situation. Like, nobody gets it. So Kenya tries to show Toya the gifts, like to just dead the conversation. Drew keeps on going and say, if you're not going to listen, you're so disrespectful. You weren't looking for God. You were looking for dick. You were looking for a prophet dick. I was like, prophet dick sound like some really good dick, bitch. I want some, goddammit. So Toya was like, and your man was looking for some new pussy because yours is dried up. And I was like, well, all right then, here we go. Let the fun begin. The fun games begin. So they both stand up, they arguing, and Toya was like, your man want a bitch like me. That's why he in Florida bagging bitches that look like me. Portia and Shamia like, girl, I ain't trying to get my hair fucked up in these hoes fight because I ain't got no panties on. My pussy gonna be all on the goddamn screen. I'm like, you nasty bitches. I think that is so nasty for women to walk around with no panties. I don't want to sit nowhere where you had your wide open ass pussy been sitting on fucking leather, who knows what secretions and came out your vagina and shit. Like, that shit is so fucking disgusting, but whatever. So, where was I at? Toya was like, I'm leaving. And Kenya was like, you don't have to argue with her. She's a fucking narc. Mind you, Drew called Candy a narc earlier. So Drew was like, if you're a whore, you need to know how to move around a whore. She has that Delilah spirit. I was like, girl, here you go with this. Girl, you ain't on Greenleaf. Shut your ass up. So Cynthia was like, what does that have to do with you? Drew was like, she went asking for prayer, but was pushing up on the prophet. That's not okay. And Candy, I'm like, but you sit up here talking about what ain't okay, but you still ain't addressed the fact that your husband's so so-called ran away to Florida and still ain't told you where the fuck he was at. But you want to talk about other people in their situations. Once again, I still feel like that whole storyline between her and her husband was fake because it was never really addressed on the show. She just did that to have, you know, an explosive beginning of her being on the show. Nothing about that shit was real. So, Candy was like, you keep blaming her for grown men behavior. And Drew was like, do you know what happened? And Candy was like, if the prophet did what you said and started dating her, it's because he wanted to. And I was like, period, Candy, period. Nothing else needs to be said. Drew, however, continues on with the foolishness and says, I will always do what I have to do to protect my name and my family. Girl, just slit your wrist sideways. So Portia was like, in her confessional, I don't think anyone cares. Nobody did. Like, even she looking like, girl, stop it. Like, you're embarrassing us. Like, you're not going to be able to sit at the table with us where we wear pink every Thursday. So, Kenya and Toya then steal all the wine. So all the champagne. So Drew ass can't go home with no gift. And I was like, yes, Kenya, that's how you get her ass back. But then Kenya went too far. She took the Gucci gifts and the Chanel gifts. I was like, this hell for her. Hopefully she gave the other girls back their shit later. But I hollered. So they all tell Drew that the man said he wasn't engaged when they spoke to him. And Drew was like, he proposed years ago. Some people take years to get married. Like, girl, just let it go at this point because you just sound like a fucking delusional ass woman. So Toya realizes she left her purse inside and goes back in. So Candy was like, you need to give up that champagne and take that wig home. Because, like, even Candy was upset that she tried to pull that shit. Drew was like, I thought it was really fun, but priceless. If y'all didn't get my joke, okay. Girl, it wasn't no joke. You couldn't afford $1,000 gift. So Toya was like, I'm going to go meet up with the prophet. And I was like, see, Toya, you could just came back in, got your purse, but you just wanted to start up again. And I do remember the fact that Toya was the one that started with Drew. She started this whole thing off. But I feel like for Drew, if you want to continue to have beef with her, just have beef with her. Don't try to make a reason for you to have beef with her. Just don't like the bitch because she started with you. Because this whole Prophet Lot situation is fucking retarded. So, Drew says, if you're with the prophet, just say it. So they start arguing back and forth, and then Toya grabs the wig and throws it at Drew and tells her to shut the fuck up. Drew tries to get up and, like, attack her, but the only thing she ends up doing is showing her Spanx to the whole entire world and further making an ass out of herself. I was like, girl, how many L's can you take in one episode? You look stupid. So Kenya in her confession was like, oh, you're from Chicago? Where's the Chicago now? And I was like, what is you talking about, Kenya? Like, shut your dumb ass up and worry about where your nigga at. So Toya was like, take that cheap ass wig back to the store. Drew was like, nasty ass bitch. So Cynthia in her confession was like, who comes to somebody's house and acts like this? And she was like she was pissed off with Drew. So Toya was like, what is she wearing? Where is she wearing? And as they're going to the car, the carolers come down the hill to sing. And Kenya was like, God damn it, like, I can't take no more of this stupid ass shit. So the carolers get in front of Cynthia's house, and this was by far the funniest shit of the episode. The carolers up there singing, and here go Toya Thompson, hey, with her drunk ass going over there trying to dance with the carolers. And King was like, Toya, get in the car. Get in the car. You look, Toya, get in the car. Get in the car now. Like she's somebody's mama. That shit was funny as hell to me. I cackled. Hilarious. Child. This season overall to me was a wash for real. I mean, outside of Kenya keeping the shit up about Bolo, really what was the season about? I'll wait. Nothing. Like nothing else really happened this season except for the same old shit. Portia and Dennis going back and forth. Kenya over there still being abused. Candy over there still being rich. Cynthia over there still being dumb and in love. Marlo still being Marlo. Drew making up storylines. Toya just a hoe. I mean, like, there really was nothing going on this episode. I mean, this whole season outside of the Bolo situation that they dragged because they had to have a storyline for this season, or else this season would have been a complete flop. Once again, they need to just scrap everything and start anew. It's time. We're 13 seasons in, going into the season 14. It's time for a shakeup and a change. That is my review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you guys. Tell me what you thought about the season finale. Let's talk down below. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. Make sure once again to tune in tomorrow for the new episode of Tea Party, where we discuss what we saw with this Prophet Lot situation. Also, make sure you tune in Thursday for my gowns look for less video. It is funny as fuck. I cannot wait to see y'all to see this shit. It is so fucking funny. Yeah. Love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.